I know there's an echo. It's fine. It's fine. We're all going to make it through. We're all going to survive if there's an echo of the music. And we're also all going to survive if I still need to do a manual fade out, dude. And guess what we're doing? We're doing that manual fade out from Apple Music with the intro music. Because you know what? Who cares? Who cares, really, at the end of the day? Who cares, really, at the end of the day? Oscar Guy here. What's up, y'all? It's time for the Oscar Guy Here podcast. Couldn't tell you what episode it is, what episode number it is. Couldn't tell you. Give me 2 seconds. 1, 2. It's episode 17. Okay, there you go. It's episode 17. All right, episode 17 of the Oscar Guy Here podcast. The top of my head is clipping because if I go like this, then you get these two edges because of my green screen. So I have to tilt the thing down. So you're either going to get a shaved part of the top of my hat, or you're going to get inconsistencies with the green screen. And that's what we're dealing with, and that's what we're going to have to just live with. And that is life, ladies and gentlemen. So what's up? It is... We're coming down to the wire, folks. We're heading towards the latter part of the awards season. It is Saturday, January 17th at the time of this recording. Less than a week away from the Oscar nominations, ladies and gentlemen, which are on Thursday, January 22nd. And you best believe I'm going to be doing a reaction video. Man, I got a bunch of stuff on my shirt, too. Like, come on now. You best believe I'm going to be doing a reaction video for the Oscar nominations. That's Christmas morning for all of us. It's Christmas morning for me, man. You know what I mean? So, looking forward to that. So in turn, I think, finalized my final nomination predictions for the Oscars because we have everything we need, pretty much. We have the Golden Globe winners. We have the Critics' Choice winners. We have the SAG nominations. The Actor Award nominations. SAG-AFTRA. And we also have the BAFTA long lists, not the BAFTA nominations. Those will come about maybe less than a week after the Oscar nominations. But we do have the long lists. And just today, we have some word from the European Film Awards, which historically haven't bared a lot of... correlation, but these days with the international voting body at the Academy Awards, you best believe that it does matter a little bit more these days. So I think we have everything that we need to make our final Oscar predictions, which I did. And I did make some last minute changes because of the European Film Awards, and we'll get to that shortly. But before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys that if you didn't know, I have a website, OscarGuyHere.com, and we're gonna do this here. Give me a second so I can get in the corner here. Get in the corner. I have a website, OscarGuyHere.com. Built it myself. Not bragging, just letting y'all know that I built myself a website here. Homepage has links to my socials: Instagram, Letterboxd, YouTube. Videos, I have to manually update here, but I have my long list reactions. I have my reaction videos here. I have my podcast videos down here, my top 10 films of last year, and my Operation Watch List, which I have abandoned for now. But by the way, I'm going to be doing probably a top 10 video of 2025 in February, I think, until I catch up on some films that I haven't seen yet. But there's that. My reviews, pulling in from Letterboxd, podcast page, which you can listen to the podcast right from here. Copy the RSS feed, links to Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, and of course my predictions. And you can check out what my predictions are at any time going to /predictions, which we'll get into shortly. Before that, I just want to quickly recap what I've seen lately from Letterboxd here. How's this look? Okay, this looks pretty good. Okay, so from last time we met, I don't know the last time we did a podcast, maybe in December. I watched Marty Supreme, Liked it. I liked it, but I don't know. It's not really my thing. I understand why people really love it. I'm just not really a fan of the whole Safdie stress tornado film. I just don't vibe with those movies. I don't really vibe with Uncut Gems or Good Time. Um, and I just, I respect them, and I think they're well made, they're well acted. But it's just not. I'm not really there completely, like emotionally, and I don't know. It's not really my thing. But I did really like it. I thought it was great. Timmy Chalamet, I think he deserves to win the Oscar for Best Actor. Odysseus Zion, Gwyneth Paltrow, they're both wonderful. The cast is like pretty unbelievable. It's pretty unbelievable how good the cast is and how eclectic it is. And we'll get to the best casting category. But I think Marty Supreme should walk away with best casting at the Oscars. I mean, the casting is unbelievable. You got Timmy and Gwyneth Paltrow. You got Odessa Zion plucked from the ether. You got what's his face, the rich guy. Oh my, his name is slipping. You got the Shark Tank guy, Mr. Wonderful, whatever his name is. He's in there doing a fantastic job. You got Tyler the Creator. You have there's like another like filmmaker director guy who's not even an actor, but he's in the film and he crushes it. And you got like these random people, like not dissimilar to like a Coen Brothers film, where like the most minor characters have such clear personalities and they're so well realized somehow, and they crush it. It's crazy. The casting is unbelievable in Marty Supreme. Um, that's what I was probably most impressed by. Um, but yeah, it was good. I gave it a 3.9 out of 5, which might be a little bit harsh, but it's still a positive review. I think it's still a really great movie. Saw No Other Choice. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So goofy, so timely with its themes with capitalism and the job market and humanity's turn towards AI. It's devastating by the end, but it has a lot of humor in it as well, a lot of lightheartedness. Lee Byung Hun crushes it along with the cast. The direction and the editing is just wonderful. Park Chan Wook deserves to be nominated for director. Not going to happen, but it is what it is. Hopefully, the Academy can get it into international feature. I really hope they don't pull another Decision to Leave where they snub that for no reason. So please let us pray for No Other Choice to get nominated. It unfortunately is on the cusp, and I can maybe see it getting snubbed. But I really hope it gets in. I also saw The Great Mouse Detective because Mouse Detective. I think I discussed it briefly on one of my live streams where I purchased The Zone of Interest and The Great Mouse Detective together at Barnes and Noble, and I couldn't get over how unbelievably insane that purchase is. I watched it again. It's a childhood favorite of mine. I remember watching it growing up, and it was always one of my favorites. It's kind of looked at as like a mid tier Disney film. It's right before the Renaissance took off. So people kind of look back on it like kind of like tossing it aside. No, man, it's great. It's not perfect. It's not like a mind blowing or anything like that. It's basically Sherlock Holmes as mice, and it is what it is. And Vincent Price is in there crushing it. There's a few songs. There's a good climax at the end. It's good, man. Some good animation. It is what it is. It's one of my favorites. It's probably top 5, if not top 3 Disney for me. Sue me. I also saw The Secret Agent. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved The Secret Agent. Wagner Moura is incredible. The cast in that film is incredible. The direction is wonderful. The screenplay, the vision. The film is quite long and it's kind of a slow burn, so you kind of have to be patient with it. It's one of those films where it kind of starts slow and then it's kind of like a puzzle. Um, the film is kind of like a puzzle that you kind of have to put together. Not that it's like confusing or complex. It's a little bit complex, but not too crazy, not like a decision to leave complex, but you do, the director kind of gives you morsels and bits, bit by bit, and you kind of have to, you know, put the film together and put this puzzle together as the film goes on. But the more and more you build, the more and more the film builds on you when you're watching it, if you will. And it really is worth the investment in your attention and the time that you um, put towards watching this film. It's so good. I want to watch it again as soon as possible. Um, it's beautiful. It's a great film. The ending ripped my heart in two, as I said in my review there. It really is a slam dunk. Um, it's so good. It's probably my number three of the year. It's in my top five. It's so good. It really surprised me. So, and that is definitely getting into the Oscars in several categories. And then I watched Ephus, which is a film that it's a baseball movie. It's like kind of an art housey baseball movie that was at the Directors Fortnight at Cannes Film Festival. Um, I really liked it. It definitely wasn't perfect. It's a little overlong. It's a little stretched out and overextended with the micro interactions, as I said. It's kind of Altman-esque in that regard, where you have like all these characters that you're kind of keeping track of, and you have like these little vignette. Not they're not really vignettes, but they're like these little scenes of just like simple conversations. So it's like little conversation here, little conversation here, little conversation here, little conversation here, with all these different characters between these two teams. Um, and the dialogue is very heavy on the baseball vernacular and the technical aspects of the game of baseball. So if you don't know how baseball works, a lot of that might go over your head. Um, I kind of understood some of it, but that really isn't that. It's not really the magic of this film. The magic of this film is the subtext. It's about these two teams that kind of get together. I think it's like a casual like amateur baseball league or something like that, and they're all dudes in their 40s and 50s, and maybe like late 30s that come together and play one last game at this field that has been around for decades, and the field is going to be demolished, and they're putting a school where the field is going to be. So they're doing this last game, and they kind of just like bust each other's balls the whole time. They kind of just like play this game just because like they not because they want to, it's because like they need to. It's like an obligation for them to just like have one more game. But it's like the way they hang out and play this game, they kind of get on each other's nerves, but they kind of just like they do it and they get through it, and it's an all day thing, and it goes into the night, and they have to like turn on like their headlights in their cars to like finish the game, and they're like, I can't fucking see, blah, blah, blah. And like they finish the game very anticlimactically, and then they all just go home, and then the film is over. Um, which is kind of profound because it's like, I know I'm probably spoiling the movie. Sorry guys, but um it's like it's about like the male experience, like the male friendship experience, where like your emotions are kind of suppressed, and the way you show love is to like insult each other. It is what it is. That's the truth. Um and like even at when it ends, it's very bittersweet because everybody just like doesn't even say, they kind of just stop talking to each other as the game ends, and they just pack up and they go home, and they probably won't ever see each other again in that regard. And is that okay or not? I don't think they know. And it's just like it's very bittersweet. It's very bittersweet, and it's executed very well. And it's a film I've been thinking about a lot. I think I saw it almost a week ago, and it's really growing on me after I've watched it. It's one of those films where you kind of have to sit with it and be like, so that is what they were going for. So I gave it a 3.7, which I don't know. It's tough. It's closer to a 4, I think, for me, because it is a little overlong. Like I said, it's a little. I'm not a huge fan of the whole Altman-esque kind of, a lot of characters interacting with each other, and it doesn't really culminate in anything, at least in the short term. So it's frustrating in that regard. But it's very well made, very well acted. Um, it's really great. It's a film that I haven't really stopped thinking about. So maybe I should bump it up to maybe a 4 or something. But I highly recommend it. It's not your typical baseball film. You kind of have to be patient with it, but it's good. It's really good. So that's what I've watched. So those are the things that I've watched ever since the last episode. So let's get in there, folks. Let's get in there. Let's just see. Yeah, we're good here. Um, we are good. Let's get in there. I'm gonna show you guys my final nomination predictions. If we do this, yeah, no, it's gonna fuck it up. Um, I'm gonna show you guys my final nomination predictions for the Oscars. I've been working on this past couple days, and I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. Perhaps a little bit too good. Not dissimilar to last year. I felt a little too good last year for my predictions, which I did pretty well on. But I got a feeling they're gonna throw some curveballs where in areas that I'm not expecting. But let's just dive in. We're gonna try to get through every category, so here it is. Picture. A lot of people have the same 10 for picture. We have One Battle winning. Sinners at number 2, followed by Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, Frankenstein, Begonia, Train Dreams, The Secret Agent, and It Was Just an Accident. There's not a whole lot of people out there that don't have this 10. But, this is where I feel a little bit too safe. Are they going to throw a curveball and put in something else like Blue Moon? Like if Blue Moon gets into original screenplay, are they just going to throw a bone to Blue Moon? Is all 3 Neon films here, Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, and Accident, are all 3 of those Neon films getting in? Like, no Searchlight films, although Searchlight kind of, stumbled with Ann Lee. Jay Kelly's been severely underperforming. Wicked for Good, not Best Picture quality. Avatar, Fire and Ash, severely underperforming. Sirat, I don't think is happening. Like, what other options do we have? We don't really have a lot of other options. Some people were saying F1 could pull it off because F1 did get a PGA nomination, and I don't even have F1 listed. But I think F1 could maybe sneak in here. Maybe Weapons can sneak in because that got a PGA nomination out of nowhere. Um, I don't know. Weapons has blanked across the board other than PGA. At least F1 has, they made into NBR, which has little to no correlation. Um, I don't know, but that's my 10. That's my 10. One Battle, clearly the front runner. Hamnet did win the Globe for drama over Sinners, which was kind of a surprise. But I still think Sinners is going to overperform for sure here. So I have that still at number 2. But that's my 10 for picture. I really don't know what else to do other than maybe F1 or Weapons possibility. Accident, it was just an accident, has been unfortunately underperforming everywhere. It's not really showing up. Panahi's not really showing up. And it seems that The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value are the 2 films that Neon is pushing instead, which is kind of a surprise to me because Accident is the Palme d'Or winner, and Palme d'Or winners do very well at the Oscars these days. So I don't know, but I still have it in at number 10. Let's move on to director. Director, absolute bloodbath. Director is an absolute bloodbath, man. What are we doing in director? The two locks, I say, are PTA. PTA is probably going to walk away with this thing. Coogler, he's got to get in, right? Like, the Academy is really going to fumble if they don't nominate Ryan Coogler. It has to happen, right? It has to happen. The last 3 slots, however, are a little bit up in the air. They're a little bit up in the air. For right now, I have Del Toro, I have Trier, and I'm holding on to Panahi. I think the director's branch can save him. And then just not making the cut is Chloe Zhao and Josh Safdie. Everybody else, I think, is a long shot. Filio, I don't know how to pronounce it. Um, Yorgos and Oliver Lache, I think, are long shots. Maybe not Filio. If Secret Agent really does well at Oscar nomination morning, maybe he can be a shock that morning. But I don't know. I did make a last minute change here. I did have Chloe Zhao at number 4 and Joachim Trier at number 6. However, the European Film Awards happened today, and Sentimental Value cleaned house. It cleaned house. It won Best Film, Best Director, Best Actress for Reinsve, Best Actor for Stellan, a bunch of tech awards it went home with. It cleaned house at the European Film Awards. I think that is a big indication that international voters are going to go gung-ho for Sentimental Value. Therefore, I'm putting Trier in. I got to put Trier in because on top of that, Trier has made it in everywhere. He hasn't made DGA, which is understandable, but he did make the BAFTA long list. He showed up Globe. He showed up at the Critics' Choice Awards. It's hard to deny it. It's really hard to deny it. You can't. It's hard because Chloe Zhao has gotten in everywhere she needs to. Critics' Choice, Golden Globes, DGA, and the BAFTA long list. And Hamnet won Golden Globe for drama. So it's really hard not to predict Zhao here. And she's a former winner. It's tough. It really is tough. It really is a 50-50 toss-up between Trier and Zhao, and maybe Del Toro and Zhao. Del Toro, I think, is a little vulnerable because he didn't make the BAFTA long list, but he made it in everywhere else, and he is also a former winner. So it's hard, man. It really is hard. It really is hard. These top 7, sorry, these top 7. You can go any which way with these top 7. Like I said, the 2 locks are PTA and Coogler, no doubt. But Del Toro, Trier, Panahi, Zhao, Safdie, you got to pick your battles here. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to lock in, and I'm going to say Trier and Panahi. I'm going to say Trier and Panahi over Zhao and Safdie. We'll see what happens nominations morning, but it is an absolute bloodbath. I'm locking in with PTA, Coogler, Del Toro, Trier, Panahi. It's tough. It's a tough category this year, but we'll see what happens. Best Actress. Let's go Best Actress first. Buckley's walking away with it, right? Buckley's walking away. She's walking away with it. She won Golden Globe for drama. She won Critics' Choice. She's pretty much. I mean, it's between Buckley and Byrne. Between Buckley and Byrne as far as precursor tallies. Byrne did win the Golden Globe comedy. They are both BAFTA longlisted. They both got in at SAG. Rose Byrne does have NBR, NY, and LA, which is big. But I don't know. That doesn't really mean a whole lot as far as her Oscar chances, because from what I remember, Marianne Jean-Baptiste also got all of those awards last year, and she wasn't even nominated for the Oscar. So I'm not losing sleep over this, really. So I really think Buckley is going to walk away with this for sure. If Byrne pulls off a shock, whatever, so be it. Like if she wins SAG out of nowhere, then it's a battle. Then we have something to talk about. But for right now, I think Buckley's got this in the bag. So Buckley and Byrne at the top. Chase Infinity I have at number 3. She's been showing up absolutely everywhere. You know, she's undeniable. Critics' Choice, Golden Globe Comedy, SAG, BAFTA long list. What can you do? She's in, and she's in the Best Picture frontrunner, so you can't really deny that. Renate Reinsve and Kate Hudson, however, I have in right now. Those last 2 slots are pretty up in the air. I think Emma Stone could get in. Emma Stone has been showing up everywhere. Yeah, she showed up absolutely everywhere. Critics' Choice, Golden Globe, SAG, BAFTA long list. Emma Stone could pull off a nomination here. Begonia has been doing incredibly well. It got into PGA. It's been getting a bunch of tech precursors. It really is cleaning house. So I think she could happen over Renate. I don't want to see that because Renate, one of my favorite performances of the year. Um, I love you, Emma Stone. You're great in Begonia, but Renate, you got to give her a nomination for that. Um, so maybe that's like a hope addiction in a way. But I do have Emma Stone at number 6. And I got a feeling that Kate Hudson for Song Blue might happen. She's a former nominee, and it just seems like they can pull off, like a Annette Bening and Naiad situation here, and just kind of throw her in. She got nominated at Golden Globe and SAG, and she made the BAFTA long list. So I can see her maybe leapfrogging somebody here. So I have her in at number 5. Cynthia Erivo, I don't think is going to happen. She did make the BAFTA long list, which was surprising. Amanda Seyfried and Lee, I just don't think that will happen, unfortunately. As good as she is in the film, that film has just died. It is just nowhere to be found at this point. Early in the season, maybe, but she got a Critics' Choice nomination and a Golden Globe comedy musical. She didn't make SAG, didn't make BAFTA long list. The film in general hasn't made really anything. It hasn't been showing up anywhere. So I really, really doubt that is going to happen, unfortunately. Everything else, long shots. Jennifer Lawrence, Tessa Thompson, Julia Roberts, Ava Victor. Don't really see any of those happening. Andrea Riseborough randomly got a BAFTA long list mention. But she's not getting the same campaign as her, what was it? What was that movie called? To Leslie? She's not the same thing, not the same situation, campaign, and everything. But that's my 5. That's my 5 for actress. Buckley, Byrne, Infinity, Reinsva, Hudson. Reinsva and Hudson being kind of loose. I can see Emma Stone getting in there over either one of those two actresses. Other than that, that's what I got. Best actor, I think Timmy's walking away with this. He's been cleaning house so far. Wagner Moura doing fantastically. Secret Agent, Word of Mouth, and Strength, Momentum, fantastic. DiCaprio's in, I think. Ethan Hawke and Blue Moon has been doing very, very well in general. And Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. I think that's the 5 that most people have, I think. I can't really see Jesse Plemons getting into Begonia. I mean, he's been doing fairly well. He got into SAG and BAFTA long list, so maybe that could happen for him. If Begonia overperforms on Oscar nominations this morning, I can see him possibly pulling something off. Joel Edgerton, Train Dreams, is also on the cusp to maybe get nominated. He did miss at SAG, but I can also see that happening. Jake Kelly is doubtful because that film has kind of crashed and burned. Unfortunately, I love that film myself, but it is what it is. I don't think that's happening. Jeremy Allen White, Oscar Isaac, not going to happen, and everything else is just dust in the wind. But I think Timmy's going to be walking away with this. Even if SAG goes to somebody else, like if they give it to like Hawke or Michael B. Jordan, if SAG throws a Sinners party and just like awards Sinners across the board, or they can award, One Battle off the board, across the board, whatever. Maybe that can happen. But we're going to have to see what happens at SAG. But I can see it maybe, like, even if SAG goes to Michael B. Jordan, I think Timmy has a good shot to finally win his first Oscar. But yeah, that's what I got. Wagner Moura, I think, is in. He did miss SAG and he did miss the BAFTA long list. Come on, BAFTA. You're killing me with that. I think he is stronger than Fernando Torres last year, and all Fernando Torres got was a Golden Globe drama win, and the momentum for I'm Still Here got her into Best Actress and the film into Best Picture, shockingly. So I think he's pretty solidified. So that's my 5. Timmy, Moura, DiCaprio, Hawke, B. Jordan. Next. Best Supporting Actress. I have Tiana Taylor at the top. She did win the Golden Globe over Amy Madigan, which indicates that this is, in fact, a race and not a sweep, making things interesting here. Yeah, between Taylor and Madigan, Taylor is in a Best Picture frontrunner. Madigan is not. Inga Ibsdottir Lilius is in for me. All the sentimental value actors missed at SAG. Stop with that SAG. I'm not too worried about that. Wunmi Mosaku has been doing very well. She missed Globe, but she's been showing up both in Critics Choice, SAG, BAFTA long list. I think she is pretty much in there. Number 5. I'm taking a risk, y'all. I'm thinking that they can throw a bone to Paltrow, and that's risky because she has pretty much blanked everywhere except for that she got into the BAFTA long list. So that's a little morsel to chew on. And I feel like her being such a veteran actor and being a former winner and being, giving a great performance in a Best Picture contender, I want to say that they could possibly Judi Dench Odessa Ozion and give her the nomination instead of Ozion. It's risky. A lot of people are predicting Ozion over Paltrow, but this is where I'm taking a risk, and I'm going to say that Paltrow might surprise. Maybe not, but that's where I'm taking a risk there. Ariana Grande, I don't know. She got in everywhere, and she got in the BAFTA long list, but for her being nominated for the same performance as last year, and Wicked for Good not performing nearly as well as the first one, I don't know. Maybe it could still happen, but I don't know. I'm sacrificing her for Gwyneth Paltrow. Elle Fanning, she could possibly get in if Sentimental Value does very well at the Oscars. Maybe she can take the place of Paltrow or Wunmi Mosaku. Or maybe they could, give Elle Fanning the nomination and not Inga, which would be a choice for sure. Again, it's another bloodbath category. It's another bloodbath category. Everything else, absolute long shots. Blunt, Watson, Haas, Regina Hall. No. Unless they want to shower one battle with every award that they can, maybe Regina Hall can be a shock here. I don't see it happening, but whatever. But for now, that's what I have. Taylor, Madigan, Lilius, Mosaku, Paltrow. Moving on to supporting actor. Another pretty up-in-the-air category. We all thought that Del Toro could have been, the sweeper and the front runner here after winning NBR and NYFCC and crushing the precursor tallies. They're not all critics, but really crushing the precursor tallies. But once the televised awards started happening, things got a little bit more interesting. Elordi won Critics' Choice out of nowhere, which I want to say was due to maybe vote splitting. Maybe it was a really tight race between, some other actors, maybe between Skarsgård and Del Toro and Penn. And maybe he just made the cut, and maybe it was a surprise win. And then Golden Globe went to Stellan. I think Stellan is in a good spot. He did miss at SAG, but not losing sleep over that. He made the BAFTA long list. Could very well win the BAFTA. So I think he might be number one, and I think I have him at number one here. Yeah, I do. So I got Stellan, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, both the One Battle boys, I think, are getting in. Very surprised that Sean Penn hasn't won anything yet. He's not really campaigning really at all. Benicio seems to be the more, critics' favorite, and he's kind of pushing the film a little bit more. He's a little bit more passionate. Sean Penn's just kind of sitting there looking like a carrot and smoking cigarettes during the Golden Globes or whatever. He's just there. I think he's just kind of there, and I think that's affecting his campaign a little bit. So if it's anybody, it might be Del Toro here. Elordi is still very strong in a Best Picture film, winning Critics' Choice. I think he's pretty much in. And Paul Mescal is modestly in there. He's made it everywhere he needs to. All the precursors, made the long list. He's in. Sandler, Jay Kelly, again, Jay Kelly, severely underperforming this season. He's been getting the most awards recognition in his entire career, if I'm not mistaken, getting Critics' Choice and Golden Globe mentions and making the BAFTA long list. That's very good for him. But with the strength of the weakness of Jay Kelly, it concerns me. He's number 6. He's on the cusp. I don't think he's getting in. If he gets in, great, but I don't see it happening. Miles Caton Sinners, won the Young Actor Award at Critics' Choice, and he got nominated at SAG. Missed the BAFTA long list in I think what do you want to say, James? Spit it out. Delroy Lindo made the BAFTA long list instead of Miles Caton. So there's that. I'd be surprised if Miles Caton got an Oscar nomination. It would be great to see, but it's a tight category. I have him at number 7. Everything else, long shot. Delroy Lindo, unfortunately, long shot. Andrew Scott Blue Moon, long shot. Everything else, not going to happen. So that is my 5. Skarsgård, Del Toro, Penn, Elordi, Mescal next. Original screenplay. I think Sinners. I mean, look at this tally, man. Sinners walking away with this, right? Sinners going to walk away with this original screenplay. Won the Critics' Choice, nominated Golden Globe. What did that lose to? One battle. I think it lost to one battle. Made the BAFTA long list. WGA we're not getting until after the Oscar nominations, by the way. So we don't have WGA to go off of. And there are some films here that are ineligible. Most notably Secret Agent. Sorry, Baby. It was just an accident. And Blue Moon somehow is ineligible as well. So got to take those into account. Again, hard to say without the nominations, but that's what we got. So we're going off of. Sinners, gonna win, gonna get in. Sentimental Value has showed up everywhere. Marty Supreme. So those, I think, are the 3 locks. Secret Agent, I think, can happen. I think it can happen. It's ineligible for WGA. Didn't get into Critics' Choice or Golden Globe. But now we have split categories, whereas actually, you know what? In Critics' Choice, they have split categories. Never mind. I think Secret Agent is pulling enough steam, getting enough momentum for this to happen, I think. So I have it in. Over, it was just an accident. Maybe it was just an accident can maybe pull off a surprise here and show up, make it in to the 5. Would love to see it, but accident is underperforming. It is underperforming. I'm very concerned. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I have the Secret Agent in over that. And for the 5th slot, I'm putting in Sorry Baby. I don't know if you also watch the Golden Globes. I did a live stream of the Golden Globes. And I want to say right before Julia Roberts announced Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, she shouted out on stage, Ava Victor and Sorry Baby. And she said, if you haven't seen it, see it. And then a few days later, Ryan Coogler shouted out the film on, I want to say Jimmy Kimmel, or one of the, or maybe Jimmy Kimmel, or, one of the late night talk shows. He shouted her out again, and she's getting great word of mouth on Twitter. I feel something. I feel something might happen for Sorry Baby. I think and this is all happening. This all happened during Oscar voting week, and I think that is an indicator that she could get enough votes to sneak in to this category. Would absolutely love to see it. Don't think it's going to show up anywhere else in picture or actress. We'll see what happens, but I think it could happen for Sorry Baby. So I have it in. Weapons, also certainly a possibility. It made Critics' Choice, and it is eligible for WGA. I can see that getting a WGA nomination. Made the BAFTA long list. That could probably happen. We'll see. Jay Kelly, doubtful. I would love to see it nominated personally, but I don't think that's going to happen either. Everything else, long shot. Long shot. That's my 5. Ladies and gentlemen, Sinner, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, Secret Agent, Sorry Baby. Next. Adapted. One battle, absolutely crushing it. Gonna walk away with this award. PTA is getting his first Oscar. He's getting at least one Oscar in March. He is getting at least one Oscar. So it is his year, ladies and gentlemen. Adapted screenplay, crushing the game in precursor tallies, and won Golden Globe, won Critics' Choice, made the BAFTA long list. Probably going to win WGA. It's over. But what else is getting nominated? It's pretty straightforward. Everybody seems to have the same 5 here. One Battle, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Begonia, Train Dreams. If it's anything other than that, I will be shocked. There's no way no other choice is making it in, as deserving as that is. That's not going to happen. Wicked for Good's not going to happen. Wake Up Dead Man is pretty dead in the water as well. Smashing Machine, don't even give it any thought. That's my 5, and that's mostly everybody's 5, right? Let's just move on. Animated. K-pop, probably going to happen. K-pop, probably going to win. Ton of precursor tallies, wins Critics' Choice, wins Golden Globe, shows up at the Annies everywhere, got an animated PGA nomination, was ineligible at the BAFTAs because of its theatrical run, or lack thereof. Not worried about that. It's still winning. I would be shocked if Zootopia 2, if there's any runner-up, it's probably Zootopia 2. Even with the international voters, with Zootopia 2 performing incredibly well at the box office and showing up where it needs to at the precursors and the long list. I mean, it's got to get in, right? I don't think it's going to win, but it's getting in. It's a clear number 2. Little Amelie, Arco, I think are both getting in. And then Elio, I guess everybody is it's been showing up where it needs to. Elio's been showing up. Could they pull off a Robot Dreams this year? Remember Robot Dreams? Blanking at the precursors and then just showing up out of nowhere? What is this year's Robot Dreams, though? Is it Endless Cookie that got a couple of precursor tallies? Is it Lost in Starlight? Or I'm Frank Elda, whatever that is? Is it Scarlet? I don't know. I doubt it. Bad Guys 2, I don't really see happening. The first film didn't get nominated. Demon Slayer? I don't think the Academy is that cool to nominate an anime film like that. I don't really see it. I think it's these 5. I'm pretty sure it's these 5. K-pop, Zootopia, Little Amelie, Arco, Elio. Let's call it. International feature. Okay. I think Secret Agent is gonna pull off the win here. Even over Sentimental Value. Honestly, I think Sentimental Value is, I have it as number 2. I think Sentimental Value is going to show up in a lot of categories. Maybe that couldn't pull off a win, but the momentum and the strength of Secret Agent is just undeniable. It won Critics' Choice, it won Golden Globe, made the BAFTA long list, won both NY and LA critics groups. It's pretty damn strong. It has leapfrogged Accident in a way that's pretty profound. It's tough. It's really close. I don't know. Could they throw a bone to Accident or Sentimental Value? I don't know, but they're at least getting nominated. Accident and Agent and Sentimental Value clearly getting nominated. Surratt showed up in a lot of Oscar shortlist categories. It got shortlisted in a lot of technical categories, which kind of indicates that it could sneak into international feature. I think that's getting nominated. The 5th slot, I'm going to say No Other Choice, but like I said earlier, talking about No Other Choice, look, it made it. It's making it in where it needs to, but are they going to pull off another Decision to Leave? I can see it's not impossible. It's not impossible for them to do something stupid like that again. But I'm nominating it. I mean, I got it nominated. I got it getting nominated. So here we go. Everybody else is on board, but don't can't hey what's the expression? If if the Academy snubs it, if the Academy snubs No Other Choice in international feature, don't say I told you so. I can see it happening. Unfortunately, don't want to see it happening, but I can see it happening. But I have it being nominated. If anything, if any film is gonna take its place, it's probably Voice of Hinrajab. That's been getting in where it needs to. Missed Critics' Choice, but other than that, it's been showing up. Left-Handed Girl, small possibility. Small possibility. Everything else, I think, is a stretch. But that's what I'm thinking. Secret Agent, it was just an accident. Sentimental Value in second, I think. Over accident. Sirat, No Other Choice. That's what I got. Best Original Score. Let me just check if we're still recording. We're still recording, right? Yeah. Score, I think Sinners is going to take this. Look, man. Look at the precursor tallies for Sinners, man. 36 precursors. And it won Globe and Critics' Choice. Made the BAFTA long list. Sinners is one of the Best Picture frontrunners. Goranson's going to win a third Oscar, I guess. A third Oscar? That's crazy. A third Oscar in 10 years. That's insane. That's crazy. But I can see it happening. At number 2, I think it would be Johnny Greenwood for One Battle After Another. It's been showing up everywhere, but it has been winning a whole lot in comparison to Sinners. Max Richter for Hamnet, sure. Frankenstein, Desplat, sure. That fifth slot is a little up in the air. I'm going with F1. I'm going with Hans Zimmer for F1 because he's Hans Zimmer number 1, and number 2, F1 has been kind of surprising us in this category across the precursors, showing up at Critics' Choice and Golden Globe. It did miss the BAFTA long list, so that's a little wonky there. What did make the BAFTA long list but wasn't nominated at the Globes was Daniel Lobatin's score for Marty Supreme, which I see a lot of people predicting, and I don't blame him. I don't blame you. But that score is not the Academy's tastes. I mean, we all know what happened last year with Challengers. Challengers won Globe and Critics' Choice. Missed the BAFTA long list. Missed the Oscar nomination. What are we doing, Academy? They suck, is what I'm saying. The score branch always messes it up. Every year they mess it up and they put in like Indiana Jones or American Fiction over women talking, and like what actually are we doing? What actually are we doing? I don't think Women Talking was nominated that year, but whatever. I digress. They're gonna fuck it up somehow, right? So Marty Supreme is not locked. I'm sorry. As great of a score that is, it is not locked. I just, it's going to be too good to be true for that to get nominated. The score branch, after the shit they pulled off last year with Challengers, I don't see it. It's not locked. Look, I would love to see it happen over F1, but don't say I told you so. Again, if they snub Marty Supreme in the original score, don't come running to me, because I told you so. The score branch tends to fuck it up every single year. So I have that at number 6. It could very well get nominated, but knowing the score branch, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Sirat, underneath that, I have that at number 7. That got into Globes. Did not make the BAFTA long list. Begonia, I would love to see Begonia get nominated. Honestly, one of my favorite scores of the year. Absolutely. Has blanked at the major precursors, did make the BAFTA long list, and Begonia is gaining traction. Jerskin Fendrix, former nominee for Poor Things. Maybe that can happen. Would love to see it. I will jump out of my seat if Begonia is nominated here. But it's a long shot. Everything else, Wicked for Good, Nuremberg, J. Kelly, we don't even need to talk about those. So, but that's my 5. Sinners, One Battle, Hamnet, Frankenstein, F1, Sorry. That's it. We'll leave it at that. Best sound. Best sound. F1, I think, is taking this. F1, I think, is solidified as well as One Battle, Sinners. They all got into the, at least MPSC, the sound precursor here. Frankenstein, I think, can also get in. 5th slot, a little bit up in the air. Could go to Mission Impossible, could go to Wicked. But I think, especially after it's showing on the Oscar shortlists, I think maybe they can throw a bone to Seurat. And I hear the sound work in that film is incredible. I haven't seen it. It hasn't played anywhere. Has been being played anywhere in my neighborhood. I think it's finally getting released in February, so I will be seeing it then. But yeah, that's what I have. One Battle, Sinners, F1, Frankenstein, Seurat. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Production design. Let's go through these technical categories pretty quickly here. Production design, I think, is going to Frankenstein. I also have Wicked for Good being nominated, even though Wicked is kind of has lost steam. It's definitely not a lock, but I have it in anyway. Hamnet I have in, Sinners I have in, Marty Supreme I have in. If they really love One Battle after another, maybe One Battle can leapfrog Hamnet or Marty Supreme. I don't know. But Fantastic Four First Steps has been getting a lot of mentions. It got into Critics' Choice, ADG Fantasy, and it made the BAFTA long list. And I want to say it got into some critics groups too, if critics groups even have production design categories. So maybe that's a number 6. But Begonia, I don't think it'll happen. Avatar has really been struggling to show up really anywhere, even in production design. I hear it's just more of the same thing as The Way of Water, and the numbers and the stats are showing that. Didn't even make the BAFTA long list. I mean, Mickey 17 made the BAFTA long list over Avatar. That's saying something. Phoenician Scheme, I don't think is happening. Wes Anderson films tend to not perform as well these days. So I have Frankenstein, Wicked, Sinners, Hamnet, and Marty Supreme for production design. Cinematography. Here we go. I have Sinners winning, getting in and also winning. It's made it in everywhere. One Battle has made it in everywhere, predicting that. Frankenstein has made it in everywhere, predicting that. Train Dreams missed BSC for some reason, but it won the Critics' Choice Award for cinematography, and it made the BAFTA long list. I think that's happening. And then Marty Supreme, I have in number 5 over Hamnet. Hamnet has been losing steam in the cinematography race for some reason. After it getting nominated to Critics' Choice and making the BAFTA long list, it missed both BSC and ASC. And those are pretty strong precursors, those two. Missing both is not good. And Marty Supreme made both and the BAFTA long list. And it's Darius Kanji who shot Marty Supreme, who randomly got nominated for Bardo that one year. I think it'll happen. So I have him in. Hamnet, number 6. F1, Claudia Miranda. Maybe that can happen. Kind of a long shot. Everything else, long shots. Maybe they can. Maybe the black and white cinematography voters at the Academy might, come together and have a little Nouvelle Vague campaign. But I don't know. Nouvelle Vague did make it into Golden Globe musical or comedy, but I don't know what the correlation is there, but whatever. Cinematography, I have Sinners, One Battle, Train Dreams, Marty Supreme, Frankenstein. Makeup and hair. Frankenstein, I think, is winning. Smashing Machine, even though Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt in that film in general has kind of died off. For makeup, at least it got into Critics' Choice. It got into, the makeup, precursor, but it missed special makeup at the MUAHS mois, if you will. It missed special makeup for some reason. They gave it to Weapons, One Battle, Sinners, and Wicked for Good. And the special makeup is in regards to prosthetics. Smashing Machine missed that for some reason. So it's vulnerable. It's not a lock for the Oscar because of that, I think. It did make the BAFTA long list. So I don't know. If that is snubbed on Oscar morning, we shouldn't be too shocked because of that. So if it does get snubbed, then that special makeup category at that precursor has a lot of weight than we think. So that's not a complete lock, but I have it in anyway. Wicked for Good, I have it in. Sinners, I have in. One Battle, I have it in. Marty Supreme could also happen as well. Got into period makeup, or makeup, not makeup, but hairstyling, contemporary hairstyling. Wait, PCH. I think that's period something hairstyling. Got in there, and it got the BAFTA long list. So maybe that could happen. Maybe Nuremberg could happen somehow. Those are the surprises. But other than that, I don't see anything else. Frankenstein, Sinners, Smashing Machine, One Battle, Wicked for makeup and hair. Moving on to costume design. Pretty tame. Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, Sinners, Hamnet. I think those 4 are locks. I have Hedda in. Maybe they could throw Colleen Atwood a bone for One Battle. If they have a One Battle day on Oscar nominations morning, maybe they could just throw it in there. But they do like their period films. They do like their period costumes. And Hedda has some fantastic period costume work. Didn't make the BAFTA long list for whatever reason. Don't know what happened there. But it got into Critics' Choice and it got into CDG period. And I just feel like that is an Oscars costume design branch thing, pick, whatever. So I have that in. Everything else, pretty long shots, I would say. Costume design, Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, Sinners, Hamnet, Hedda. That's what I got. Film editing. I got One Battle. I got F1, which won Critics' Choice and made the BAFTA long list. Marty Supreme, Sinners, and Hamnet. Other than that, we have House of Dynamite, which has been randomly showing up in editing here and there with the precursors, and The Perfect Neighbor. I don't know about those two. Begonia, Frankenstein, Weapons also made the BAFTA long list, but I kind of doubt those. Maybe Frankenstein could pull off something here. Other than that, I don't really see it. Maybe Sentimental Value out of nowhere, if they really go gung-ho for that. Maybe that can sneak into editing over, I don't know, Hamnet, something like that. I'm not sure. But for right now, I have One Battle, Marty, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Hamnet in film editing. Visual effects, we all know who's winning. Avatar's winning, thank you, goodbye. F1 I have in, Sinners I have in, Frankenstein, and Superman I have in. I've heard The Lost Bus has been getting some good word of mouth. It made it into VES and it made a BAFTA long list, and it apparently had a really good bake-off. And what bake-offs are, if you guys don't know, are basically like visual effects showcases for Oscar voters. And I hear that The Lost Bus had a very successful bake-off. So maybe, and it showed up in a lot of categories at VES as well. So maybe that can sneak in over, I don't know, Sinners. Doubt it. I think Sinners, well, I don't know. As strong as Sinners is, it is vulnerable in visual effects, I would say. So maybe it can get in over maybe F1 or Superman or maybe even Frankenstein. You know, some of the visual effects in Frankenstein are a little like, I don't want to say cheese, like a little corny. You can. I mean, there's some CGI rats in Frankenstein that it's like it's very obvious that is a CGI like video game rat, and it's like, you know what I'm saying. So maybe they'll, I don't know. I would say it's vulnerable just a little bit in that regard, but in any case, for right now, I have Avatar, F1, Superman, Frankenstein, Sinners. Lost Boss at number 6. Best casting. the new category, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new 24th category this year, Best Casting. We don't know what really this category means as far as like their casting branch is concerned, but we do have some things to go off of. We do have the Critics' Choice category to go off of. BAFTA has a casting category, and just for shits and giggles, I have the SAG Ensemble listed here as well. It's not really the same award because Critics' Choice category is like Best Casting and Ensemble, which is two completely different things. And then the BAFTAs have a Best Casting proper category, and then SAG Ensemble, which is an ensemble category and not technically a casting category. So it really is kind of up in the air on what this category means in the grand scheme of things. But what we're going off of, I think Sinners has a shot to maybe win, maybe like a Best Picture frontrunner like Sinners or One Battle. Marty Supreme, which I would love to see win this category. I think it's deserving to win. I have that in. I have Hamnet in, and I have Sentimental Value in. I don't know. I'm just really going off of vibes. Frankenstein, possible. Wicked for Good. It's the same as the first film, basically, so I don't really see that. Seurat made the BAFTA long list, and it made the Oscar short list. I don't know. Maybe that could happen. Secret Agent and Her Weapons. Maybe that could surprise. I don't know. I really don't know what's happening in this category, but we're just going to go for it. We're going to say Sinners, One Battle, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Hamnet for Best Casting. Best Original Song, Golden's winning. No ifs, ands, or buts. Goodbye, thank you, see you later. Golden is absolutely winning this award. Won Critics' Choice, won Golden Globe. If anything else is going to win, I think it's going to be I Lied to You from Sinners. Made it in everywhere. Sinners is going to crush it at nominations morning, on Oscar nominations morning. If anything else is going to win, it's going to be that, but it's not. It's not. And if it does, circle back on this podcast and say how wrong I am. But yeah, Golden's in, and it's going to be winning. I Lied to You is in. Girl in the Bubble, I think, is in. Train Dreams has gotten in everywhere, but I can see that maybe getting snubbed for... You know what? I haven't even updated this because on my website, I have The Last Time I Seen the Sun getting in over Train Dreams. If they have a Sinners party on Oscar nominations morning, they very well may nominate two songs. Both of the songs that they submitted, they might not nominate them both. They haven't been really doing it double nominations in this category for a while. They did it for Barbie. That's the one exception, I think. So maybe they can pull off a Barbie and get both songs in there. But Last Time I Seen the Sun hasn't been showing up really anywhere else, so that's my only reservation. So I don't know. I'm kind of taking a risk here, and I am putting in Last Time I Seen the Sun over the Train Dream song. Is the Train Dream song strong enough? I don't know. So maybe that's unwise for me to do that, but. In any case, I have that, and at number 5, of course, we have a Diane Warren song. If you're not predicting a Diane Warren song at the Oscars, what are you doing? Statistically, she just shows up for no reason. Okay? So she's getting in. So that's my 5. Other than that, we have Drive. Maybe that could happen. No Place Like Home from Wicked. I don't see that happening. Anything else is a pretty long shot. So for right now, I have Golden, I Lied to You, Girl in the Bubble, Last Time I Seen the Sun, Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless, Train Dreams, Possible Leapfrog. There you go. And now we have the shorts categories, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for the shorts categories. Some of the hardest categories to predict because we don't really know anything. There's not really anybody who has seen any of these films, at least for right now. In the grand scheme of things. So I'm pretty much going off of, I don't know about you, but I'm going off of Gold Derby. I'm going off of the Award Expert app community. And I'm kind of compiling those two and kind of cross-comparing and kind of feeling out the vibes and going off of vibes, basically. So for right now, my top 5 for documentary short are All the Empty Rooms, armed with only a camera. All the walls came down. Bad hostage, cashing out. That's what I got. In documentary, in animated, I have Autocar, Snow Bear, Cardboard, Butterfly, and Iru. And in live action short, I have Otto, Amarella, Beyond Silence, The Boy with White Skin, and A Friend of Dorothy. And maybe, the shorts branches are weird because, like, not all of the Oscar voters even watch the shorts and just go off of vibes or, like, the title or whatever. Maybe they can throw a bone to, like, Jane Austen's period drama, which is a pun. Or, like, two people exchanging saliva. Or, like, oh, that's cute. I'll mark it off my ballot. They did that with Yuck. And then they did that with, like, the ostrich short, like, a couple years ago. I can see them pulling off stupid stuff like that. So I'm not ruling that out completely, but that's what I have for live action short. And ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. Those are my final Oscar nomination predictions. Let us pray that things work out. I feel a little bit too safe, taking a few risks here and there, but I'm playing it safe for the most part. So yeah, that's it. Those are my predictions. And you can see them on at OscarGuyHere.com/predictions. And I think I'm going to be locking them in. If I make any last minute changes, I will be letting y'all know on Oscar nominations morning before the announcement. So there you go. So with that, folks, I think I might just leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Growing. That's going to be it for me, y'all. Next time I talk to y'all, it's going to be Oscar nominations in the morning. Going to be doing that reaction video for y'all. Can't wait. Super excited. It's crazy that we're here already. I feel like the season just started. I know I kind of started my coverage pretty late this year. So I feel like we just got started, but we're nearing the finish line. We're nearing the beginning of the end. So yeah, man, that's it. I see y'all on Oscar nominations morning. Good luck with your predictions. If you have any predictions that you want to sound off on, feel free. Anywhere. I don't know. I might be uploading this to YouTube, so just sound off in the comments there or anywhere else, whatever. So, yeah, y'all have a good weekend. Y'all have a good week. Happy predicting. And I'll catch y'all on the flip. Thanks for listening. Follow me on the socials. You know the whole spiel. You know everything. You know it all already. Let's get the outro music in. Okay? Let's get the outro music in. Without further ado, I catch you all on the flip, ladies and gentlemen. And Oscar Guy is out. Peace out, y'all. Goodbye.